God bless you. This is Pastor Alan Payne coming for Mirror Image Church Without Walls once again. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. Today we're going to be talking about don't get thrown out, get blessed. Don't get thrown out, be blessed. Today's scripture comes from Matthew 25:29. For everyone who has will be given more, and he who has, he will have abundance. Whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken from him, and thrown that worthless servant out into the darkness, and there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Pretty rough stuff, huh? Well, let me tell you the story before this verse, and you can kind of get it in perspective. A lot of people call this the parable of the talents. And the parable of the talents talk about three servants. One servant is given like 1 talent, which is like $1. The next servant is given like $2. And the next servant is given like $5. Or $500, $200, and $100, whatever you want to say. They're given 3 different amounts of money. And the first servant goes and hides his money. The second servant goes and invests his money, makes double his money back for his master. The last servant goes and invests his money and makes double his money for his master. So the master comes back, the guy in charge, and he says, "What you doing with my money?" And the last guy that had $500, he came back and said, "Hey, I've made you $1,000. And he goes, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Good job." Oop. The next servant came by. He had the $200. He said, "I made you $400. He said, "Well done, good and faithful servant." And he be blessed. And he was given more. But this last servant we saw was thrown out into the darkness because he did not do anything with his talent. He did not do anything with his money that God had given him. And this is what we're talking about today: how to be blessed and not thrown out. So how does this work in our life? Well, have you ever had something you used to really do good, and then after a while you didn't do so well at it? Like, I know for me, I used to ride my bike really well and do skating when I was little. Now if I got on a pair of skates, I don't know if I can roller skate as well as I used to, but that's because I haven't practiced in a while. Well, it's kind of that famous saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. And that's how God's plan works too, is if you don't use those talents or that money or that privilege that God has given you, you lose that privilege. So God gives us a blessing to use for Him and a power to use for Him, and the more we use that power, the more we grow in faith. It's just like if we never spoke English, even though we knew how to speak English. When we tried to speak English, we would be mumbling out our words and having a hard time speaking. But the way we are today, I'm used to be able to speak Spanish, but since I haven't been down south a little bit, I have a little bit of a hard time speaking Spanish now because I haven't been down south in a little bit where they speak Spanish a lot more. It's the same thing. God gives us a talent and He wants us to use it. That's what He's talking about here. So if we're not going to use it, He throws it out. He throws us out with it. So we don't want to be thrown out. We want to be blessed. So we have to use those talents that God has given us. Be blessed, and that's the rest. Okay, just joking there. You know that seriously, you know, this is one of those things that God really stresses to us, you know, is to use those things that God has given us to honor Him. So remember to honor Him with the money, the talent, and the things that He has given you, and you will be blessed and not thrown out. This is Pastor Payne coming to you on a Friday, hoping you have a wonderful weekend and a blessed day. Not a thrown out day, a blessed day. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend, not a thrown out weekend, a wonderful weekend. And you have a awesome Sunday too coming up. We're going to have a awesome Sunday message. Only God knows what it's going to be. It's going to be good though. And we'll talk to you soon. May God make His face shine upon you and give you peace. God bless you.